Hey everybody. Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to art class. Today, let's get started with our next project. So this week's project is going to be about a specific type of art, a specific art form. When we think of different types of art, a lot of time what we're really talking about is the medium. Now, medium is just a fancy way of saying how was the art made? What was used to make that art? Was it a drawing or a painting? There's all kinds of categories like this in art. So medium is one category, but then there's the type of art, and that's really called the art form. So the art form is what is the art about? What is the subject? If it's a big wide view of nature, then that is probably the art form called landscape. So the one we're talking about today is the art form that is about people, but not a lot of people. It's about just one person, and that kind of art form is a portrait. So portraits have been around for a really, really long time. This is one of the first portraits we know about. This is 25,000 years old, which is a long time. A portrait just has to be about one person. Remember, it doesn't matter what it's made out of. It doesn't matter if it's a painting or a stone carving like these. As long as it's about one person, it's a portrait. Now, this next one we're going to look at is famous, right? We've probably all seen this. It's hanging up on the wall in the art room. But even before you came in this art room, I guarantee you probably saw a picture of this. This is the Mona Lisa. This is a portrait. It's about one person. Its focus is just one individual. So portraits have been around kind of like this for about 5,000 years. Going back to like ancient Egypt. That was probably about the first time that people started painting, especially portraits of other people. Now, a lot of time when we see portraits, especially old ones, they are famous people. They are people that were kings and queens. They were people that were wealthy. Really, only wealthy people could afford to pay an artist to sit there and paint their picture. It's not like you and me now, where we can just take our phone and take a picture real fast. You had to have an artist sit down, paint a picture, and that takes a really long time, and it can get really, really expensive, especially back then when there weren't a whole lot of people going around painting these things. So there's other kinds of portraits. Photography portraits have been around since about the 1830s. They looked a little bit different back then than they do now. The only real other kind of a portrait that we'll talk about real fast is a self-portrait. A self-portrait is what we call it when you, the artist, makes a portrait of you, the artist. This is a good one. This is a self-portrait. I like it. Last thing we'll talk about, which is what we're doing today, which was what the video you watched already was about, is one specific artist. This gentleman's name was Giuseppe Arcimboldo, which is one of my favorite names to say on earth. Giuseppe Arcimboldo was alive in the 1500s, and he made paintings. He made crazy portrait paintings that were unlike anything anybody had ever seen. And really, unlike anything that anyone's done since. He made combinations of other objects and combined them in specific ways to turn them into something that looked kind of like the person that the portrait was about. This one right here, this is the one from the video we watched about the librarian, and it's made out of books. So, that's kind of a hint about what our project is going to be like today. We're going to make some portraits. Not self-portraits, so you don't have to worry about it looking just like you. Just portraits. We're going to draw people, and we're going to make them kind of like our buddy Giuseppe Arcimboldo would have done. So, let's go ahead and get started talking about what the drawing is going to be. Alright, my friends, so for your art project this week, which is going to be creating a portrait, you're going to need a piece of paper, a pencil, something to color with. I'm going to use a marker just so you can see it, but as always, please use a pencil first. That way if you make any mistakes, you can fix them. So what you're gonna do today is you are going to come up with a portrait. This is gonna be completely out of your brain. You're just making it up as you go. Now, kind of like our Giuseppe Arcimboldo portraits, these are gonna have a theme. So you can pick that theme. It can be pretty much anything you want, and you're gonna create a person's face made out of stuff that has to do with that theme. So, like our Giuseppe Arcimboldo librarian, he was made completely out of books. So, you can use anything you want, you can come up with any idea you want, but if you would like to do what Giuseppe did, that's fine. You can use food, you can use fruits and vegetables and things like that. And for the example I'm gonna show you real quick, that's what I'm gonna do. So we're not really trying to make the whole body, we're just worried about the face. So I'm gonna start off with something that will be a nice big shape that I can use for the outline of that face. And I'm gonna do one that has vegetables in it, like his did. And I think I'm gonna start off with a squash. Put my little squash stem up there. So that's a pretty good face shape. All right, so now for my mouth, I'm gonna start thinking of stuff that could be shaped like a mouth. Now the difference between ours and his, he had tons of stuff that was, piled together to look like the items. We don't really need to worry about trying to, make 30 things come together to make one mouth. You can just pick a shape that's something, that you think would make sense. So I'm gonna go with a slice of watermelon for my mouth, because when we think about a slice of watermelon, it's usually already kind of the same shape that like a smiley face would be. All right, so on to my nose. Let's see, I think for the nose, I'm going to use a upside down strawberry. And I think I want this guy to have a mustache. And for that, let's see, something that is kind of long and straight. Let me do some chili peppers. So I'm gonna do one going that way. Put my little top and my stem. And I'm gonna do one going that way. Little top and my stem. All right, so I got a nose, a mouth, and the all-important mustache. For my eyes, let's see. I think I can use, well, there's all kinds of round fruits and vegetables, right? So let me just use some cherries for the eyes. Go like that. And maybe my stems might end up looking something like eyebrows. All right, gonna give him some ears. Let's see, let's just do some orange slices. All right, there we go. I think that's pretty okay. It definitely looks like a face, right? We can tell that it's supposed to be a face, not necessarily a person's face, but a face. It's got some of the features that I would see on a face: an eyes, nose, mouth, ears, main head shape. Now, of course, there's a lot of differences between this and a face too. These are all fruits and vegetables. At this point, I would go ahead and trace if I had a marker to do that with, and then I would color. So now, we said that you can pick whatever kind of a theme you want, so I wanted to show you another one real quick that I had done, just so you know you don't have to do fruits and vegetables. So this is one that I went ahead and finished, and this guy is made completely out of art supplies. So the main head shape is a paint bucket. We've got a broken pencil for his eyebrows. His eyes are supposed to be marker lids. Crayons for his lips on his mouth, and a paintbrush beard, and a paintbrush mustache. So it does not just have to be fruits and vegetables and things like that. It can be anything else. Now, as long as it is a theme. So when I say a theme, every part of this has to do with that same idea, which this one was art supplies. All right, my friends, I cannot wait to see what you make. I'm sure these are going to be awesome. First step, come up with that theme, the idea, what kind of items are you going to use to make your face, and then come up with your portrait out of items that meet that theme. All right, can't wait to see what you make. Good luck, my friends. See you guys later. Bye.